I liked the KITE OVA so much when I was younger. It was one of the holy grails of violent, edgy, almost hentai animes from the early 2000s. I mean, I was even one of the few people that was excited about the not-so-great live-action adaptation when that finally got released. So when director Yasuomi Umetsu teamed up with Studio Shaft, an anime studio that produced some of my all-time favorite animes in Madoka Magica, this looked like a recipe for greatness, especially given the very strong trailer for Virgin Punk Clockwork Girl. But I just got out of seeing the movie in theater during a limited screen event Tuesday night, and I'm not gonna lie, this movie might have been one of the biggest rug pulls I've had as far as a viewing experience all year. You walk in expecting this wild neon-drenched cyberpunk but also original old-timey sci-fi experience, and you get that. It's beautiful, action-packed, and you're on the edge of your seat for 35 minutes. Don't get me wrong, what's here was amazing, but when I see the runtime for this thing being over an hour and a half as far as the runtime goes, I was expecting more than what I got. Hey, what's good all you weebs out there? It's your boy, DatChickenWang, part of the ChickenWang Gang crew, and I'm here today to give you my thoughts and opinions about a theatrical experience I had that frankly caught me by surprise. So let me go a little further into detail in that and also give you my review for Virgin Punk Clockwork Girl. Virgin Punk Clockwork Girl is the newest animated short from Studio Shaft. The movie takes place in this almost cyberpunk but still old world European type city. The closest thing I could probably relate it to is Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, where the world feels old and lived in but also futuristic, except with less of a gothic backdrop to it. It follows our main character, Ubu, who has lived the life of a bounty hunter for a good portion of her young life, hunting down criminals with medical android enhancement called Somadia. And these criminals are a menace. They're running rampant and committing crimes and murdering the hell out of people in broad daylight to really a shocking degree. So watching Ubu and the other bounty hunters do what they do is satisfying to see, but when Ubu has an encounter with Mr. Elegance that flips her world upside down, she's forced to fight a new kind of threat that she now is more than equipped to take on. Though at the same time, she's now under the thumb of Mr. Elegance, a pervy older man who is essentially her handler. Will she be able to fight this unknown threat, find common ground with Mr. Elegance, and earn her freedom? Or just kill him? I guess I'll never know, because the movie ends as they set those questions up. So Studio Shaft didn't come to play here, and you can tell because they gave the audience what we came to see. They've always been known for producing wild animation styles. I mean, these are the folks that gave us Madoka Magica and the Monogatari series, I believe that's called. And these are two very different but very stylized animes, and you can feel their fingerprints all over Virgin Punk. Even the character movement adds so much extra flavor to this movie. It's exaggerated, stylized, and insanely fluid. Like our protagonist Ubu, she is getting put through the ringer in this movie, and the way that her expressions are, even though this is animated, like it really, you feel her struggle, her being conflicted with everything that's going on, because she is really going through it, and I believed her, the way she looked in throughout this movie. And towards the end, she kind of gets stone cold, realizing like, okay, this is what I gotta do, I'm gonna put some work in, and we're gonna get things done. And then you have Mr. Elegance. And even though he's pretty much an implied diaper sniper and he's just an overall scummy person, you kind of, he wins you over with his charm because of just the way he moves and the way he interacts with other people when he talks to them. And there is one part near the end where the animators must have just had the most fun trying to animate him just moving around. And it cracked me up. And so, hey, kudos to the animators on that one. Y'all did great. And that train sequence, oh my god, that was one of the best shot action sequences of this whole project. It's chaotic, fast, it's beautifully directed. Think the bullet train fight sequence from, was it The Wolverine, except if it had anime physics and 10 times the collateral damage, because oh my god, so many people are just, oh man, it is a sight to see. And just throughout this whole thing, beautiful cinematography throughout. In the background and the locale of this old-timey European town where this takes place, it feels, again, old-timey, but it also feels somewhat futuristic, and you kind of just go along with it because they blend it in together so naturally that you just take it at face value. It's sometime in the future, who knows when, technology is where it's at, and hey, we're just gonna go along for the ride for that. And it also still manages to have a good amount of personality because of the locals, who just move through town pretty naturally. Our protagonist interacts with them on and off, but there are also the locals who are just pissed off that the bounty hunters are just coming through town and leaving things in shambles as they're yelling through their broken apartment doors because, like, shoot, the neighborhood's been shot up. So, I'm pissed off, and you have every right to be. So I like that a lot, and I was just never bored watching anything that was happening in the background. And something else that adds to this is the lighting, because as dawn's approaching, it's setting the tone for what's about to come next, and it adds a little more extra weight to one of the scenes that follows. So hey, they knew exactly what they were doing when they made these design decisions. And so this is the part where things start to get weird, because right as the action's starting to ramp up and you're ready to go and we're having a good old time, bam, credits roll, lights come up a little bit, and we're like, wait, we're only 40 minutes into this thing. What's going on? And then you realize now we're going to get those after movie credits or after movie extras that we were told we were going to get. And it's like, oh my goodness, this theatrical experience, this what was advertised as an hour and 34 minute theatrical experience, is primarily going to be, most of the runtime is going to be taken up by the behind the scenes documentary for how this thing got made. And I was shocked, because this was not what I expected and not what I paid for. I thought this was going to be a full-on movie, but instead we're rolling into a documentary at this point. Now, please, don't get me wrong. I do love a good behind-the-scenes featurette, but mostly when it's in the special features of a Blu-ray or maybe even on YouTube for free as a documentary. Like, when I went to go see Dan to Dan's theatrical experience, they got it right because they were showing off a few episodes of season 2 early, so we got over an hour's worth of content and then followed it up with a behind the scenes for how they were creating and going about doing Dan to Dan season 2. It was nice. And after recently watching the Chainsaw Man movie and seeing the runtime for this, Virgin Punk, I thought we were going to be doubling down with another great anime movie experience. I was so hyped. But no, it was a 35-minute anime pilot followed by a Q&A session with the directors dapping each other up, being like, this is awesome, we made something great. And you know what, I'm not even mad about them just being happy about them making this something, because it is an achievement to make something this great. But you can't just leave the audience high and dry advertising this runtime and then just being like, oh, once the movie's over, you're gonna have extra features. This isn't an extra feature I wanted. I was hoping for the anime movie. So yeah, that wasn't it for me, man. I didn't like that. So like I said, while I don't blame the directors for just dapping each other up and being super happy about this piece of art that they created, I don't blame the audience for wanting to get up out of there after realizing that this is what the rest of the movie is going to be. I mean, like, people were checking their phones, they're muttering to themselves, and I'm over here feeling like an asshole because I convinced some friends to come out and check this movie out because we recently saw Chainsaw Man together. So hey, with that runtime, you figured we'd be getting a full experience. But no, this was it. And the worst part is that it is a shame, because the parts of the documentary that I did see were actually really insightful, especially with the whole animation process. And if you're into animation and production like this, because they're showing how they used Photoshop to layer over some of the hand-drawn sketches they did with some of the digital art, it was genuinely fascinating, especially using color to direct attention during some of these faster moving action sequences. So one day I might revisit it to see what they did with sound, because I missed that. But yeah, the movie started at 7 and I think we left there about 7:50. And yeah, as cool as everything was, just knowing that that's what the remainder of the runtime of this movie was, it just sapped a lot of excitement out of the overall experience. So with all that said, Virgin Punk Clockwork Girl is an amazing pilot for an anime that I probably would have liked a lot more if it was advertised as that. I mean, I paid full regular movie price for this. It was showing in limited theaters, so I had to travel way out of my way to go see this. And the movie experience ended up being shorter than the drive was overall. So yeah, I don't even know what to say about that, because I'd gotten so accustomed to these full-on anime experiences in the theater recently, and I felt good about this, especially seeing that it was an hour and 34 minutes. But nowhere in the advertising material did it mention that this was an episode or something. So I feel like if that's the way they were going to go, that would have been fine, but not knowing that this was just an episode, the marketing comes off as deceptive in this case. So while it was worth seeing in the theater to get that big theatrical experience with how beautiful this looked, I'm not going to be checking out the other episodes in the theaters if this is how they're advertised as. Like, if the price got brought down and maybe it was just for one episode and they told you up front, that's fine. But yeah, if they're going to try and advertise it as a full-on movie experience and it's just one episode, I'm good off that. And they said it took 10 years to make Virgin Punk happen, and I'm not sure if they were talking about the first episode or the entire series throughout. Either way, I wish them the best of luck getting the rest of the series out there. I hope to see it one day. But yeah, if they're gonna roll out episode 2 like they did episode 1, I'm good. I'll just catch it on Blu-ray or on streaming or something. So I'm going to do something I haven't done before and hopefully won't ever have to do again, because I think you all deserve to know for future reference, and also because I think the limited showings are going to be over by the time of this review's release. I'm giving Virgin Punk Clockwork Girl a rating of hot and crispy. As an anime, it really took me back to the early 2000s when anime was unashamedly violent but also packed with crazy action sequences that only this team could bring to life. For the theater-going experience, I'm rating it as undercooked. Like I said, the marketing for this felt deceptive, and had I known of what I was getting into, I would have tempered my expectations and not set up more friends for disappointment along the way. After having so many movie anime wins recently, this is going to have me second-guessing upcoming releases, especially if they're Fathom events, so please just be sure to read the fine print, people. And that's my review for Virgin Punk Clockwork Girl. Hope you liked it. Going to try and be more proactive getting these reviews out, and we got some fun blockbusters to look forward to soon, so we'll see what's next. Anyway, if you have any compliments, criticisms, or advice, please drop me a comment. Would be happy to hear what you thought. More reviews to come, and just letting y'all know it ain't no thing but your boy DatChickenWang. Catch y'all for the next one. Yo yo.